Hold on, guys. How you doing, Tyree? Let me just set up here, make sure we're live.
It's good, bro.
Working, my man. How was your year? You know, it's
Big
the last
dog status, man.
day.
You in the trenches, homie.
There we go, man. That's definitely that's where you always want to be working.
Yeah, how your operation is? How many people on your team?
Just me and a VA.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. I try to keep it as slim, as thin as possible.
You karate chop like Chuck Norris, man.
Basically, yeah. One of the things that I liked about when I first joined Justin, like a few years back, is just increasing my conversion rate, one, and increasing my my assignment fees for my wholesale. So that has helped me. Just adding those two things, again, keep me.
How did you do that?
Just
Increase
again
the conversion rate
with the guts. I don't know how long you've been with what's it called, with Justin. Again, one of the things about me, I was a little bit more quicker to the trigger as far as, yes, you're selling perfect, no, buy. Again, I was kind of like that, and it was working for me. But when I had ran into Claude Diamond's type of closing and teaching, and then I ran into Justin via Claude, and then I joined Justin's program just to be able to conversate better with the seller, being able to pace myself when I talk to the when I call to speak to the seller, pacing myself and basically being able to ask the right questions, bringing out the pain, and then asking for the close, and then of course double down and double close when you're towards the end of the conversation. That helped me lock more contracts up, because usually I'm kind of the guy that I don't like confrontation, but sometimes in this business you have to ask the questions that are kind of tough. You know what I mean? So that kind of gives you a leg up when you ask the tough questions, and you can just be quiet, ask a tough question, and just wait for them to respond. You know what I mean? So that increased my conversion rate. Just doing that, pacing myself, asking the tough questions, and then be quiet. So that instead of assuming the answer, just stay quiet, have them sulk a little bit on the pain that I'm bringing up with a tough question, and then wait for them to give you the answer that you most likely already know based on the question, based on the conversation, but wait for them to basically sulk on it. That helped me convert more on my conversations, right? And then the two is increasing the assignment fees when I was doing assignment fees. How did I do that? The same way.
Yeah.
Asking the tough questions. I mean, what's more important, you getting 80K for your property, or you being closer to your sister that's gonna die of cancer? Damn. And then when they say, well, I wanted to get the money, then just to make sure that I heard you right, it seems like the money is more important than your sister, right?
You brought death into the conversation?
Yeah, bring that type of question. Like when they lie to you, like when people lie to us, we like, oh, okay, we know it's a lie. When they tell you, oh, the reason why I'm selling because I want to go this way, or they say no, let me make sure that I heard you right. You're telling me that you want to do this because the most important thing in your life is being.
It's like a lag in the system. It's a glitch.
I want to get, but I am talking to you right now, so I'm gonna be the best option. Okay, let me check. Hold on. Is it better?
Yeah, I can hear you good now.
Okay, perfect. So basically, part of the guts is asking the seller that question. You're telling me all this, that the reason why you want to sell is because you want to move closer to your family. This is part of the conversation where you dig to find the real reason why they're selling, right? Not they're selling because they just want to get an offer. No, you're selling because of a family. You're selling because you have a debt issue somewhere else. You're selling because you need money to pay for this emergency. And then when you give them an offer and they don't like it, then you just pause. Well, sorry, I probably misheard what we were conversating. You did tell me that the reason why you want to sell is because of this, right? They say yes. Okay, perfect. I am gonna give you an offer that you didn't like, obviously. But I'm confused here. What's more important, you getting the house sold or you getting the most money? And then you say why.
I got a property I'm working on right now. I want to give you the address so see if we could comp it. If I don't know what today's schedule is, what this Zoom call, but if you have time in between or after, we could look at this. 'Cause I gotta call the seller back. This will be my third time calling her back, you know. And
Okay, definitely, man.
yeah, so I posted in a group chat about it yesterday. I'm assuming I know the seller's not going to watch this Zoom, even if it go on YouTube. So I don't have nothing to worry about. I just called an appraiser in that state, and I got him on the vocal rule recording, basically telling me what qualifies as a room, a loft being a room, things like that. He was like, if it has a door, if it doesn't have a door. So by me looking at the pictures, I don't see a door, but it could have been open, you know. So I'm not really sure. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to text you the address in chat. How do I do that?
Sure.
So the whole world, YouTube don't see my address, try to steal my deal, man.
I get you, man. It happens sometimes. There's some people like that.
The people who may watch
so,
it don't take action. You know, they're afraid to call the seller, man. So I don't.
I get you. I'll pull it up on my side and I'll without showing the screen. So what price does she want? Has she told you price?
She wants 50,000.
Okay.
But she really didn't go into detail why she wants 50,000. You know, she had it listed. It didn't sell back in February for 68,000. You know, it need to be fixed up. She said it's a 3-1, including the loft, but it's a 2-1. Everything else said in 2-1. Let me see. Hold on real quick. It's in New Jersey, so it's virtual. So I guess it's a probate. But I'm assuming the father died years ago, left it to her and her sister. She wanted to sell it, and yeah, that's it right there.
Okay, I got it. And Salem, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull it up. What do you think is the after repair value based on what you know?
So I got my VA running comps. I can't see the picture. We're looking at 103, 103,003. So we have so we're looking at, first we were comping it as a 2-3-1, but now we're switching to a 2-1 because of that, you know. So
if it was worst case scenario a 2-1, what would be your updated value of it after repair value?
So at a 3-1 we're at 107. At a 2-1 we're at 103.
Okay. And how much does she want?
She wants 50,000.
How come you haven't locked it up?
Because of EMD, and she switched to 14-day inspection instead of 30 days. And I kind of didn't know about like if it take longer than 14 days. But you know, after so I work with one of Pace Morby students, and basically, you know, that's who I was gonna like kind of like JV with on this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And basically she basically came back to me yesterday. She took 10 hours to respond, man, because she had like over 300 messages, people trying to get help. But she basically told me that it's closing as a 2-1. And you know, so that kind of like, that's why I decided to call the appraiser today and get more information so I could bring back to the seller. And
but
I'm gonna call the seller back today.
Okay, I like to break down how you got this deal. So how'd you get this deal? This lead?
Another wholesaler was advertising on Facebook, but she didn't put the address.
JB co-wholesale?
Yeah, so but that wholesaler didn't know how to negotiate with the seller. She just gave up on it. So I took it. You know, I just skipped trace the owner and called her.
Okay. And that's actually a strategy that I use. So basically what I do is I'm on all this wholesalers list.
Yeah.
They send you deals, right? So then after a couple of months, I text those people, hey, is your house still available?
Yeah, they say wholesale deals, man, but they selling at 80% ARV. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's wholesale, bro. Fucking
So some people, again, and that's why it's good to be on a wholesaler's list because of that. Because if the wholesaler was able to get with the seller and contract the account and have it on the contract, but you know for a fact it's not going to sell for that price, when you call him back directly you go directly to the owner, give it a couple of months to be fair and ethical, give the wholesaler time for him to close if he's able to close, and then just reach out to the owner. Hey, Mr. X, is this your house? Is it still available? He's like, well, what happened? Like, yeah, I was offered this property a while ago. I just wanted to make sure that if it's still available. I wasn't able to buy it last time. And then you start a conversation there. If for any reason the wholesaler gave this person a bad taste, then you're there to save the time, right? Save the house from being not sold. So that's basically a good strategy to be able to get deals, because I'm pretty sure if there's a bunch of new wholesalers going into the industry that they might not know to comp the properties correctly, but they do get in front of you to contract the account. And we know that most likely out of 10 wholesalers, probably like 2 or 3 are good. The rest are crappy.
What, 3 out of 10?
Yeah, if you look at it out of the new industry, if 10 new wholesalers go into the industry with all this YouTubes and shit, out of those 10, probably like 3 or 4 are gonna be able to close. Wow. The rest have they have contracts at too high of a price, right? So if you know that going in, because it's like the Pareto law, 80-20. Out of 10 people, 2 will probably be successful. The other ones won't be successful.
Damn.
That averages on all industry, restaurants, car salesmen, etc. So if we know that, if you have that knowledge behind you, okay, so let me go into this wholesaler sales list. I get an email of the property. I see it, and you know what, this property is too high. Put it on your CRM, put a 2-month follow-up, and put in your notes, follow up with the owner of the property, see if it's sold. And if it didn't, then you're there to save the day. Well, the reason why it didn't sell, again, most likely this guy he wasn't able to close. And the reason why, lenders are real. Again, this is the conversation that you have with the seller. Lenders are real strict, especially with the interest going up. Again, I can probably buy this property, but I can't buy at 80. I got to be at 60. But I can definitely guarantee you that I can close at 60 or whatever number makes sense. And just to verify that, I will not give you $100, deposit. I'll give you $1,000 non-refundable. Of course, you already know your due diligence that you can close on this deal. That way, the seller sees you as someone that's vetted, someone that's honest, and not only just being honest by saying it, you're actually putting $1,000 non-refundable. So you know what? I might lose 20K, but at least I can close on it. Because when the high came in, when the wholesaler reached out to the owner, oh, it's already sold. Then they're riding on the high, waiting for the check, and then the check doesn't come. So they're like,
yeah.
So they're already set. Okay, where am I gonna spend my 80K? Over here, and then nothing happens. They're like, shit. But then you come around. You know what? I can give you 80, but I can give you 60, and I can give you a 1K non-refundable. I can literally give it to the escrow and put non-refundable in case I don't close. At least you have 1,000. And they're like, okay, this guy's more honest. He's willing to put his money where his mouth is, and that helps you. So it's a good strategy. I read it through Sean Flanagan's pre-wholesaling course a long time ago. Wow. Being on this wholesalers list, and just all the wholesalers list. If you have a VA, have her be in there, and then all those accounts that she gets, all those deals and addresses, have her put it in a spreadsheet and put a 2-month follow-up on every one of them as they come in.
2-month follow-up, like check Zillow, you mean, to see if it's sold, or what?
No, because usually these properties are being sent to you via a wholesaler. They're not on Zillow, right? All right. It's through an email list. But put a 2-month follow-up on your CRM. I have IRA reply. So you can put a 2-month follow-up there. And in 2 months, you skip trace the address and you text the owner of the house. Hey, is this your house? Did it sell?
Damn.
You know what I mean? And if it sold, perfect. If it didn't, perfect for you. Now what happened? And then you see, now you know how to get deals, and you're basically gonna become the hero of that transaction. Because if it didn't close, these people hate that guy now. Wow. But now you can come in and say, you know what? I can't give you 80, The reason why, again, not even any bank loan, but I can give you 60 and I can close on it, and I will give you 1K non-refundable. You know what I mean? So that's
Nice.
the way you can get deals from that through being in this in the list of people. And that can be not only that can be anywhere, because most likely anyway, if you're like on those like massive chains of emails for properties, a VA can literally just like get in there and get all these properties and wait 2 months, see if it closed. I'm pretty sure if you get if you get 100 properties through that, probably 20 of those won't close.
Wow. Because they already be 80% ARV, man. Like, you know, so I know a lot of, even the big gurus send me emails like, I'm like, damn, like, you know, my coach is sending the 80% ARV. So I'll be like wondering, like, whoa. Yeah, so I'm going to follow with those people.
Yeah, there's ways you can buy properties at 100% ARV. Again, you can buy it on terms. I do it all the time. I bought in properties that they're literally brand new to the loan, right? So again, there's ways you can do that. You can just take over the payments. If I can cash flow it, I can take over the payments, even though if it's worth 150 and they owe 150, I don't mind that. There's ways you can do that.
All
but
right,
yeah, so on this one, going back to this one, again, lock it up at 50. Worst case scenario, you get. I remember, make sure on your contract that it says 14 business days. That kind of gives you like 20 days.
All right.
And remember, it's 15 business days, so 14 when you sign, not when she signs. So you know what I mean? So if you get it back.
Wait. It's 14 business days when I sign?
When the contract's executed. It's not executed with one signature. It has to be 2 signatures.
Oh, when she signs, you mean? Because I'm signing
No, I don't sign it first. I never sign my contracts first. I send it out. As soon as they sign, then it comes back to me.
All right. Why you do it that way?
Yeah, I do it this way. Why? Because if it's like, let's say, if it's like this, let's say it's a thin deal that I might take longer to close, I wait so as soon as she signs, I wait 2 days for me to sign it. You know what I mean? That buys me 2 more days. And then in my contract, it says 14, let's say mine says 21 business days. For them, it says days is 21 days, but in business days, it's like 30 days, right?
Yeah.
So 30 days plus another 2-3 days that you gave yourself. So that's 33 days to close on the deal. You know what I mean? And it's executed when both signatures are on the contract. Again, all that has to be on your contract.
What ARV did you get?
So on this one, how good is you say you're not from here, right? From New Jersey?
No, okay. Never been there. She told me they use oil for heating. I didn't even know about that, bro. I thought they was using.
Yeah, there's some areas that, again,
fireplace or something.
They're totally different from ours. Let's see.
So I had to, kind of like regroup and get more information. Yeah, so now I'm gonna call her back today. I was waiting on that sub 2 student to give me more feedback.
Yeah.
Did you see the soul comps I sent you?
Hold on. The first thing the way that I comp, since I don't have access to any type of like MLS, the first thing that I'm doing right now for the guys hearing this, I go to Zillow and I go through the comparable homes on Zillow. On Zillow itself, as soon as I put as soon as Tyree gave me this address, I put it on Zillow, and then I'm looking at the Zillow on the Zillow website. The Zillow website, the estimate is 66,000. In my area, the estimate is pretty good, maybe a little bit low. So in my area, if this house was in my area and it had a 70K estimate, I can probably most likely have an ARV of 100,000 in my area, because I know the estimate. Some areas change. Some areas the estimate is too high. So then the first thing that I did, I'm looking at the comparables. Again, still gives you comparables that sold in the area. There's hold on. I'm looking at one that sold this year for 50,000. Let me see. It's a little bit bigger than the one you have. Hold on, let me check. Let me see. Because the one you have is 1,300 square feet. No, it's not this one.
1411.
Yeah, 1411. The one that I see, I don't know if you saw it. It sold in October of this year. It's 2,400 square feet, and it sold for 50.
2,400. How many
24. Let me see. It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure it's probably like at least a 4-bedroom house because it's 2,400 square feet. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a duplex. So that one, let me map it from yours. It's a duplex. 2022.
You don't really want to compare that, right?
What was that?
You don't really want to compare a duplex to a 2-bedroom, do you?
Well, it's worse for you because if a duplex is selling for 50K, then a single home has to sell a little bit cheaper. I mean, because if people buy it as a rental, if you send it to anybody that wants to buy it, they're gonna see this comparable as like, well, I'm gonna buy it as a rental. If it's only gonna give me $800 rental, there's a rental with a duplex that sold for 50, I can get double my money. So I gotta do half of what this 50K sold for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You compare down, you can't compare up. You can't compare my single unit to a 2-unit. You know what I mean? I can't say just because that one sold for 50, mine's gonna sell for 50. It's actually backwards. So when you buy it,
that 209 I sent you, it sold for 193.
Hold on, I'm gonna check it right now. That's what I'm doing.
It's the address that I text you.
Yeah. Let me just look at this one that right now.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna run this out right quick.
Go ahead, brother.
All right.
So right now what we're doing, guys, we're just doing a comparable. Again, unfortunately, that comparable that I mentioned you that was sold for 50K, it's literally 5 minutes away from there. Again, you don't even cross a major street. It's like within like a walking distance. It's 5 minutes walking actually. So it's 0.3 miles.
All right. It's not one of the address I gave you?
No. I'm mapping again. A smart buyer is gonna map it as well. I'm mapping the directions, so I'm gonna see the one that you gave me. Let me see how far is it from the one.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I want a dumb buyer.
See, the one that you gave me, it's close to. It's literally I got attached to it, which is good. That's a good. Again, maybe that guy for 50K got a great deal on a duplex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. I sold for 193 at 2-1. Yeah, man, that's more of a comparable than this duplex because it literally has either a shared wall or a shared like subdivision area, like a same neighborhood.
Yeah, it's close.
So who bought this one, the 209 Sickinson? Did you check?
Nah. Oh, wait. I think I did. Did I check the buyer, you mean?
Yeah, who bought this? Because it looks like it was bought. Well, I don't know. It was resold in November, which is a month ago, right?
All right.
You need to check who bought it. And
I just put the cash buyers list, so we got like 78 buyers on the cash buyers list. We got 3 of those that bought 2 ones under 1,500 square feet, which is like the subject property, you know?
Yeah.
3 of those out of the 78. So we're supposed to call them yesterday, so we're going to call them today. But I just want to have my ducks in line, you know?
Yeah.
So thanks for the Zoom today.
So yeah, so this one, what I would do, man, again, because you don't know how this lady was reached out. Like, what was her pain point? Do we know? Do we know this? Is she a
got the
tax
property.
violation? Absentee owner? Is she like an absentee owner? A tax violation?
Her and her sister inherited this property. I think their dad died, and
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Like, other people have this list, right?
Yeah, she had a listed. You know, she didn't sell back February, so
yeah. So other people can reach out to her, right?
You breaking up? It's a glitch.
Sorry.
What do you say?
Other people can reach out to her as well.
Yeah. So
because she's on the inheritance list. She's on the inheritance list. First of all, she's on a failed listing. Second of all, and she was selling it for 62. Now she wants 50. If I was you, I'd just lock it up for 50. And then the strategy that I use is I always ask for a discount after I lock it up. The price that she wants right now, it looks like it's already a good price where you can make 20K.
All right. Yeah. So let me ask you this. So I looked it up. The dad, he died in 2013. Like, how long is a person on the probate list? He's been dead for 9 years. You know.
Okay. There's multiple ways that you can get on the probate list. It's because you died and there's a death certificate. It's because they issued a probate document. Either they did a will, they did a power of attorney. Multiple ways to be there. You know what I mean? But again, if it's again, data is always going to be there. Again, at least the failed list. Hold on, let me put my dog in there. He's kind of. So right now, I'll lock it up. I wouldn't wait anymore. Right? And you said, how much does she want for earnest money? Did you say that?
She didn't accept $10, but she didn't really give me a price. She just didn't accept $10.
Yeah, put 100.
All right.
Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure that you can sell this property for like at least 70. If you get it for 50.
Yeah.
Or at least. That's at least. Maybe I don't know how good or how bad it is on the inside. Do we have pictures?
Yeah.
Is it?
I got pictures.
Do you have pictures of this one that sold for 195?
No.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me see.
How would I be able to get pictures if they're not?
It looks like it was listed. That it sold through a listing. So sometimes, like on the Wayback Machine, you can see if there's any listings over the property. You know what I mean? And if there's listings of the property, then it has to save.
You mean 193? The one that sold for 193?
The one that sold for 193 in November, yeah.
All right.
So we want to know how good of a rehab was it? Was it a full rehab, which is the touch-up rehab? You say you're not from there, right?
No.
Because the thing about this one, there's pictures, but the pictures online are from like 2013.
All right.
Again, we don't know if it's if I'm pretty sure it doesn't look like this. It probably looks better. What you can.
What do you say? It's a glitch, bro.
In this area in New Jersey?
Oh, it was a glitch. What did you say like a minute ago or 30 seconds ago?
Yeah. Do we have access to the MLS in this area in New Jersey?
Not me.
No. Okay. You might want to reach out to a local realtor in this area and ask her, you know what, I'm trying to buy this property, but I want to see how good this property was rehabbed on 209 Sickinson. Can you give me any information about this? Again, they might want to be like the seller's agent or the buyer's agent, but you can get one that can give you access to the back end of the MLS in that area, just to see the pictures, to see how good or how bad rehab was. Again, but again, it's a no-brainer. It's literally close to the same square footage, and it's sold for 193. So there shouldn't be any reasons for you not to lock it up at 50.
Would you list that 25,000 in your comps when you selling it to the buyers by the email? That's a big difference.
They will probably most likely see it, right? But again, they can say, you know what, it was in October, so it's pretty recent, right? You can just tell them, no, that's a 2-1, and this one's a single unit. Some people don't like to live next to anybody. Some people just like to live on standalone houses. You know what I mean? They might say that, but if you're selling it to me and I'm buying it as a rental, because I don't care, it's a rental.
It rents for 1,000 on Bigger Pockets rental report.
Yeah. So again, the objection is that I can get 2 units for the price of what you got 1 unit for. That can be an objection that the buyer is gonna get you. He's like, yes, I understand, but you can also flip this one and make 100K to a single family that doesn't care about being a rental unit. Because if you only like you can tell them, if you only have portfolio rentals, then yeah, this doesn't make sense. But if you're a flipper, you can see 100K here.
So I tell the buyer he could flip it for 100K?
Yeah, this one I wouldn't rent it. I'm pretty sure this one that's sold for 193 is not a rental. It's a flip.
All right.
I'm pretty sure it's a flip.
How did he get it to a price for that much?
Again, that beats me on that area. Again, I do see other properties. That one's pretty close to what you're telling me. Let me check the one that I had seen. The land itself is pretty. Let me see how much it's pretty much the same. The lot size is pretty small. Again, it says this is an apartment, like home type apartment. I don't know if I don't know.
The subject property?
No, the one that sold for 193.
All right. Wow.
1,800 square feet on a 2,100 square feet lot. So there's literally no land. Again, that's pretty all New Jersey. The lots are real small.
So I called the realtor and asked the realtor, can she get me access to the pictures for what? How does she's going to get profit from, that conversation? If she's
Mr. Seller, I don't know if you like, Mr. Agent, again, I'm trying to buy this property here on Olive Street. I want to know if either I should keep it as a rental or flip it. I do see this property on Sickinson that sold for 193. Again, I don't have any type of representation, but can you give me access of to the previous history on this property on Sickinson? And if I do buy it, I'll make sure that you can get the listing on the resale.
Nice. So they're gonna think I'm a flipper. All right, cool.
Yeah, and just play like that. Again, I wouldn't be hesitating on this deal anymore, man. Because again, it's probably on a bunch of wholesalers list to wait for the hit, to reach out to the client. So it's on a failed listings list, and then you said it was on an inheritance list. I'm pretty sure it's also on an absentee owners list.
No, she's living there right now, but she's renting it, so a friend is renting it. So she got 2 houses, I guess, bro.
Yeah. So again, that's absentee. That's absentee. So I'm pretty sure she doesn't get her mail at that address. She gets it at her personal house. So you see, it's on different lists.
Yeah. So it's a lot of
main one,
competition.
the main one being a failed listing. You mean if it's a failed listing, again, people like Justin does that. He just goes to failed listings to do a pretty house flipping, pretty house pretty house wholesaling, where he does them and he does lease options.
Yeah, man. I'm calling her like within the next hour. So
Yeah, lock it up. You know what, Mrs. X? Again, I did talk to my partner again, and it looks good. We do need to get in there, but yeah, let's go ahead and make an agreement at $50,000. Now, who mentioned the escrow deposit? You or her?
She did. She asked me how much. I said we normally don't do more than $10 EMD, and she was like, "You're gonna get your money back. How come you can't put more?" And I'm like, we haven't really seen the picture. So I got the pictures from the wholesaler, not the seller. The seller hasn't sent me the pictures because of the EMD thing, but I'm gonna call her back. She liked my personality, so
yeah, ask her. Okay, you know what, Mrs. Seller, we're ready to move forward on this agreement. I know you had mentioned that the earnest money was something you were not agreeable at. What number works for you? And whatever she gives you, cut it in half. If it's under 1,000, you know what I mean?
All right.
If she gives you 10,000, no, man, that's not feasible. We usually buy 3 or 4 properties a year. I cannot have 20K out there in just escrow deposits. When you sell this, like, man, you would have sold this property to a retail buyer, since you did put it on Zillow for sale, they would have given you $500. Earnest deposit. Yeah, usually it's an average $500. It's 10%.
All right.
So it's nothing. $600. You know what I mean? So yeah, lock it up and then get whoever bought this property on 219 Sickinson. If it was sold to a realtor, I don't know. Again, you can probably find out if it was sold to a realtor, and then just reach out to the realtor. Hey, I saw that you sold this property for the owner here on Sickinson's. Do you know the guy that bought the property, your seller? So you know what? I have a deal that he might like. I don't know if he's still in the market right now. And of course, realtors, they're real good on communicating that to their buyers. And of course, if a realtor brings me a deal, again, I'll be happy with the realtor if I was the buyer.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Again, it's a deal. Don't wait on it too much, man, because again, if somebody else hits this property, they're gonna lock it up for 50. You can always and you can always ask for a reduction.
All right, cool.
Yeah, my guy. So again, like these deals, guys, is when it's like this, and you see a comparable that's sold for 193. Again, don't try to wait to lock it up for an extra 10K reduction. Lock it up. There's like 150, 140K difference between a comp that you have and what you're locking it up for. Lock it up. Don't wait for it. I've done that mistake. That's what I'm telling you guys. I've done the mistake where, I had to be at 80. And I say no, somebody else locks it up at 90, the original price, and then they sell it for 110. I wanted to make 30, the guy got to make 20. You see how dumb that is?
Yeah.
So again, lock it up. And of course, if you can't find a buyer, that you don't have any buyers, this is the perfect example. If this property sold in November, call a local realtor and see, hey, do you know which realtor sold this property on Sickinson? And then, yeah, perfect. Can I have his number? Reach out to him directly. Hey, Sickinson, great flip on Sickinson. Do you think your investor buyer is ready for another property or not at the moment? I know people want to wait 2 years. Oh yeah, he wants to see properties. Perfect. We'll have one down the road for 80.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Make 30K. Again, even if you make 5K, which I don't think, at least you're gonna make 20, at least, depending on how good or bad the property is. But again, at 20K, that's 20K, man. 20K for a couple of conversations over the phone, a couple of contracts.
So your ARV that was what?
The ARV, I'm thinking based on that comparable that you sent me on Sickinson, it's probably around under 200K. That should be your ARV based on this deal, the one that you sent me on Sickinson.
Right. No, for the subject property.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger because the subject property is 400 square feet bigger than this one.
Yeah, damn. I was thinking 103. 103, 107.
I don't see where you got 103 because this one sold.
Those 3 I sent you in the text.
193 in square feet. Let's see, Chestnut. Hold on, let me pull up this one up.
That's 25, 193, and 45. So we divided that and we got
So see, that Chestnut one you send me, it's listed right now for 45,000. All right, 1,200 square feet. It's an unrepaired house. I'm pretty sure this is how the Sickinsons looked before it sold for 193. So that's like a as-is comparable. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's not sold. He put that.
It looks like it's pending. Oh no, it did sell for 45.
Yeah, he put that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
So, but it's sold as is. It's not rehab.
All right. So
You
you
know what I mean?
can't really.
It's an as-is value. It's an as-is value. It's not a rehab value.
So that helps or hurts my price with the seller.
No, it helps you because yours is bigger by 200 square feet, and you get it for 50. If you just do the quick math, and if you say, you know, okay, this is my comparable per se, and you say it's 46,000 divided by the total square footage, just to be plain as math as possible, it's sold for $37 a square foot. Yours is 1,400 square feet. Yours should be sold for $53,000.
76 square feet. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that's my VA guy.
So that's kind of like and it looks, again, I don't know if the pictures that you have look like the pictures of the year on Chestnut. If it looks the same, then yeah, it's a direct comparable on an asset value. What you do need is the pictures on the Sickinson, Cynicston, whatever you call it, 209. You need those. You need those pictures.
That's going to give me clarity on what.
Yeah, on how good of a rehab it is. If it's a full rehab, then yeah, that's a good price.
All right, I'm pretty sure that's the direction.
I think the one on, I think the one on Cynicston, it's a fully rehab property. I don't have any pictures online, but you can find those pictures through a realtor.
All right, so the one for 25,000, take that out the comps when I send it to the buyers, or no?
Again, I don't send comps to buyers.
All right.
Because what if he's only seeing that property in Cynicston, and you send him 2 comps there for 25 and 45? You just shot yourself in the foot.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So I'm just gonna send him the 193. All right, but I gotta.
I wouldn't send him anything. I wouldn't send him anything. Again, when you send out emails, I always look for your, again, if it's a smart buyer, they always do their due diligence. If they come back to you and they tell you, oh, there's one sold for 25,000. Oh yeah, but again, there's one that sold for 193.
Now what?
You know what I mean? You don't know. Again, part of me learning the guts is like, you try not to answer questions that you have not been asked.
Wow.
You know what I mean? A smart investor and a buyer, they know their stuff. They know their due diligence. Only when they come back to you and say, hey, there's one for 25. Oh yeah, I saw that comparable. That's another great deal. But I know for a fact that this one sold in open market at 183.
All right, cool. So the Pareto principle for cash buyers, how dumb or how overpriced they out there, you think?
Again, right now for cash buyers, again, interest rates for the hard money is high because interest rates for the regular lending is high. So the same way, you might want to bet buyers. Hey, Mr. Seller, again, you said you got a cash buyers list. Did you buy that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is there any way that or you say you're part of Pace Morby, where you can call people that have actually closed on deals recently in the last 10 months?
His students?
No. Has he taught you how to get buyers aside from the buyers list?
So this buyers list I got it from Fiverr. It's a guy who, it shows the properties they purchased, the price, the date. So we got like 7 to 8 in the last 12 months.
Okay, then call them directly. Call those people directly. Again, don't call them as you being the business buyer, the business owner. You being just a virtual assistant. Hey, Mr. Seller, again, I work for a certain company. We're looking to see if I saw that you did buy this property on Chestnut in the last few months. Are you open to buying more properties? He says, yes, perfect. Yes, okay. Now, part of our due diligence to make sure that the buyers are vetted, what's your basically your type of buying? Do you work buying hard money or do you buy with your own?
Yeah, so I hired a VA on Upwork 2 days ago. She was supposed to make those calls to that list yesterday, so she's gonna make those calls today. You got the scripts, I got the dialogue, RER reply. So yeah, this was my plan, you know.
Okay, then if they do, one of the things that you do ask is, you know what? Let me make sure. Can you send me a proof of funds? You know what I mean? Proof of funds. Again, if it's a smart buyer, he'll send you a proof of funds because it's not an issue. And ask them again, do you mind if I make 30, 40K on an assignment fee? Do you mind if my boss makes 50K on an assignment fee? Because you want to make sure that it's smooth sailing. You want to ask that question in advance compared to when you're closing.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because you don't want to have the deal fall in the middle of the closing.
All right, got you. Hey, thanks for the coaching session, bro. I gotta go.
Definitely, brother. Good luck, man. Let me know how it turns out.
All right.
So yeah, guys, again, that's the way that I try to do properties as far as comping them. Again, this is part where you need to know how your silo and your area works. Mine's real. Again, mine, if silo says 100, it probably can sell for like 120, 130. Now, in 2021, 2022, it went crazy. So it kind of, you need to adjust a little bit because the prices went up too high. But again, you need to know how to do that. You need to know your area. That's one of the things that I know is you need to know your areas. You need to know like it was the back of your hand. Okay, this house here, I know it can sell for this much. And how do I know this? Because Silo on the previous history, if it's 100, it's probably can sell for 120. If the CAT value, like the county appraisal district value is at 40, it's probably worth like 120 in my area. So fully rehab. That's the way that I can calm those areas. So yeah, guys, again, Tyree, thank you for bringing that information in. I like to ask questions as far as how'd you get the deal, so that if new listeners are coming in, it's like, okay, this is how the deal was done. This deal was, again, this deal, if it was just to assume, it was probably an inheritance list or either a failed listings list. So basically what you do, you buy the failed listings from a certain area, and then you text them, hey, this property is still available. If they say yes, if they say no, if they say no, perfect. If they say yes, okay. Why come didn't it sell? It was I see that it was sold for it was listed for a good price. You start the conversation from there, right? 2, it could have been an inheritance list. Hey, I saw that this is your property. For me, it's just I don't even mention the inheritance. I mentioned it in the way, well, I work for a certain person, and we buy all types of properties, like people that have tax violations, people that inherited the property, and that kind of turns on the light bulb in the seller's head. Once you reach out to them and say yes, it's for sale, then you talk to them, then you make comparables. Okay, perfect. Have you tried to list it with an agent? I know you probably get more money when you list it with an agent. Of course, you have to go through the repairs, appraisal, inspections, repairs after the inspections, commissions, closing costs, showings, make sure that it goes through funding. Most people that have these issues, they don't want to go through all that. That's good, but you want to make sure you drop those legs off the table so that the only leg that's left standing is yours. Okay. Well, again, we do buy cash. We do buy it as is. I always ask, okay, what's the condition of the property? Perfect. 1 to 10, whatever. There's multiple ways to do it. And again, I always ask how much you're asking for it. I always ask how much you're asking for it. If they say, well, I don't know. Okay, perfect. Well, it's whatever condition of sale. Okay. How much would you want for it? Ask it in a different way. Well, I don't know. Okay, perfect. Well, that's one of the things that you need to know, Mr. Seller, again, because if you bring yourself into the conversation. If you ask me, again, I've lived in my house for the last 15 years. If you ask me, again, I know my parents' house, when they had it, they bought it for this much, and I know more like how much I want it for. Again, how much I want for it. You need to ask these tough questions, not just take what's called the no from, you don't buy the objection from the seller. Question it, and this is part of the guts. You question every single conversation, because by questioning things like this, first of all, it opens you up to being uncomfortable. And what they say, most of the success is when you're uncomfortable. So if you're uncomfortable asking these questions, that's good, because the reason why you're uncomfortable, because you're getting a price, it's kind of like you're literally pulling teeth. But once you pull that tooth out, you're getting a great deal. So that's how I work that deal. Again, let's say it was under contract, they will let it like this. This is perfect example. The lady won at 50. Again, if you see a comp for 193, I wouldn't wait. Because mind you, I have done this before. There's other people that have that list. I'm not, what's it called? That list is not only for me. That list is for everybody. Anybody that goes on website and buy failed listings list, I'm pretty sure they can get it. If they buy inheritance list, I'm pretty sure they can get it. As far as they can get that list. So if it's like this good of a deal, get it. Lock it up. Remember, part of my strategies, I always ask for a discount. Again, always. It's like it's part of the policies and procedures. I always ask for a discount after you see it. After you take somebody in there, you ask for a discount. You take a picture, a couple of things. Well, based on what you're telling me, these 3 or 4 things that are kind of surprise to us that we're not mentioned in the conversation. Again, we still like the deal at 50, but we gotta get a little bit of discount because based on the pictures that I'm sending you here, my developer or my rehabber says that I got to be at 40. I know 40 might be too much of a stretch on the 50. Is there anything you can help me out with? This can be sent in a text. Conversation is good too, but you can also send it in a text. You can also send it in an email. And they say, well, I can't do 40, but I can do 48. You get 2K this thing. If you want to buy that object, that you're gonna buy that seller's price, and yes, if not, well, 48 still doesn't work. Can you do 45? It's like, no, I can do 47. Okay, perfect. You just got 3K extra. If you do that on every single deal, if you close 10 deals a year, that's 30K. If you sell 20K a deal, if you buy 20 deals a year, that's 60K. You see how asking one thing can help you generate another salary for somebody else. Like it's literally another salary, 60K. So that's one thing. Getting the people to ask you for discounts after you see it. Now, when you like this, like Tyree says, comparables are good. Again, mind you, you need to know that sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot when you say on a comparable doesn't benefit you. So for me, the way that I send, I don't even send a comparable. If I'm working with a smart investors, they run the due diligence. Now for this guy, this property itself, I would have sent the deal just by itself at 80. If for any reason they come back with that comparable, hey, this property is sold for 25K. Oh yeah, that was a great deal. I'd actually know the guy that got that property, wholesaled that property out. But yeah, again, what I'm looking at is this after repair value house that was sold down the street for 193. Yeah, I wish I would have gotten that property. I wish I got in this property at 25. Those are great deals. Again, never knock down deals like that. That say, oh no, the reason why that was a 25 is because of this. No, that was a fucking deal. That guy got a home run and some. The deal for 45. Oh, that guy got a home run as well. I'm trying to get a little. I'm not trying to get a home run on this one. I'm just trying to get a couple of base hits. But you see how instead of being negative when somebody tells you this one sold for less, oh no, that was a great deal. Shit, I wish I was that good of a marketer to be able to get that deal at 25. Yeah, oh, and then what happens to the seller, to the buyer, to the investor buyer? Like, fuck, this guy's sharp. He didn't buy my objection. He didn't say, well, it is 25. Well, I want it for 80. Can you sell it? Can you buy it for me for 70? You see, no, you didn't move. Oh, that was a great fucking deal. That house would have sold for 90K right now, as is. So I can learn how to not buy objections from either sellers or investor buyers. So yeah, that's a great deal. Again, I wanted to do a year in review, but that was a great conversation. Thank you for bringing it up, Tyree. So if I was to try to break down from the beginning to the closing part, most likely it was a Zillow failed listing, or for sale by owner. I don't know if it was for sale by owner, a failed listing, and for sale by owner, or an inheritance list. You could have reached out to them. I reached out to an RVM. I don't know if you just heard the phone. I got like 3 missed calls where I was on the phone, which I'm gonna call back. I like to answer them live, but again, I have a text that goes out as soon as they come in. They reached out to the seller with the failed listings. Part of that, before we go move forward, that's actually a strategy. If you are on wholesalers list that buy properties, they're trying to assign properties, have a VA or yourself, get all those properties and put them in an Excel sheet. And as soon as you get them, put in a 2-month follow-up. And then in 2 months, you scrape that number, that address, and you send them a text. Hey, this property is still available. If it is, perfect. If it's not, Then you say, what happened? We said, well, how'd you know about this property? Oh, that property was offered to my boss, Robert, but he didn't have the money. He was dealing through some divorce. Again, make your boss more relatable as a human. Oh, he was going through some stuff. That's why he couldn't buy it. But yeah, it was offered to us to see if someone's interested. So if it didn't sell, now you're gonna be the hero that buys it at a price a little bit cheaper than what it sold. The reason why it didn't sell because the price initially was too high. But once you go there, you become the hero that you can. I can't buy, like I told Terry, I can't buy it at 80, Mr. I can buy it at 60, but I know for a fact that my boss can close on. How much for a fact? I can give you a 1K non-refundable. You make sure you make that offer, the 1K non-refundable, when you know you already have a buyer. You know what I mean? So make sure you can just give 1K non-refundable on all properties. So then, okay, that's a lead strategy. Now going back to this, reached out to the seller. He wanted 50. She already wanted 50. That's already a great deal. Again, you ask questions about the property condition, et cetera, et cetera. She has a number already. You lock it up at 50. You see the comparable. Lock it up. Go take pictures. I know he had pictures. Send it out with no comparables. Hey, property for sale, assignment fee, assignment contract for 80K, for 90K, whatever you want to do it, and then wait for the responses. If they, for any reason, say, oh, there's that property that's sold for 25, yeah, that was a fucking great deal. I actually reached out to the wholesaler that got that property for that guy. I was like, man, you could have made an extra 40K on that deal. I don't know why you sold it so cheap. Boom. The investor buyer's like, oh, fuck, this guy didn't buy my objection. And he slapped my face with an answer. Oh, there's another one for 45. Like, yeah, that's a great deal like this one. Boom. My comparable is that one for Silicon, whatever street on S Street that sold for 193 in the open market to a buyer that's gonna live in there, which is gonna be most likely your buyer investor. And then you wait for and then of course, once you go in there, the seller, once you go in there with the investor, you have to go see it. If you don't go see it, have him take pictures, send somebody to take pictures. If he likes it at let's say at a 90, perfect. If he doesn't, you're still gonna send us the original owner. Hey, Mr. Owner, you know what? Based on our first walkthrough, I send the pictures to my guy who does my rehab. He says that there's a couple of things that we didn't that it wasn't mentioned on our conversation, and we didn't see it on the pictures. But when we actually went there, we saw these. Look at picture 1, 2, 3. Based on this, I know he wants to be at 40, but I know 40 doesn't work for you because it's too high. Again, you literally landing on the sword. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm asking for a discount. I know 40K doesn't work for you, but what can you do for us so we can actually still continue closing on this deal and wait for the response? Well, you know what? I can't give you a 10K discount, but I can do 3K. I can give you 47. Let's say no, I can't. I got to be at 50. No, I know, and I know we want to be at 50 as well. But again, can you work with us a little bit? Again, we're not asking for again, anything will work for us. If you can give me anything, it'll work for our property, for our company, to make sure that we can close on this one. I know, and right now, especially with interest rates changing, again, anything can change within one day to another. But anything you can help us with will work with us. Will help us. And he says, well, I can give you 1K. Can you do 3K discount at 47? If not, you know what? I can do 47.5. Perfect. 2,500K. 2,500 bucks. Remember, if you do it on every single property, you say you close 20, that's 50K that you getting money in your pocket just for asking for a discount. You see? So again, you play that part all the time. What else? Yeah, and you wait for it to close, and you close it and you lock it up and you move on to the next deal. But this deal, don't do the mistake that I've done before. Wait for a better number instead of locking it up and then working backwards. Worst case scenario, when you lock it up, you got 15 business days. Remember that, make sure in your contract it says 15 business days, not days, just 15 business days, because it gives you an extra 3 or 4. If 15 business days, you might run into 3 weekends, which is 6 more days. So that becomes 21, right? Remember, on your contract, it's completed and executed when both signatures are signed. I never send a signed contract. I wait for the seller to sign, and then I sign myself. So once you get it back, hey, I already signed the contract, then you wait another day. That gives you an extra day to find a deal, to find a buyer. But if you have a buyer, sign right away. As far as the discount, the first deposit, like, yeah, well, ma'am, if you were to sell this property at open market like this, most likely they're gonna give you 2% escrow deposit. Nobody does 20K down payment or escrow deposit. Again, we can do 2,500. We can do 250 bucks. But most of the people, the customary bring in social proof, and authority, the customary realtor, I think a realtor escrow fee, it's always going to be 1%, 1 to 5% of the sales price. If it's 100,000, it's from $100 to $500. Yours is at 50. Again, I know you say don't like 10, we'll do 50. We'll do 10%. We'll do 100. We'll do $500, etc. So yeah, again, that shouldn't be an objection to. Don't buy the objection from the seller. But yeah, overall, guys, hope that everybody had a great year. It's the end of the year. Again, this is the last Friday of the year. I'm here working again. I locked up that deal. I closed that deal that I told you guys, where I made 33K on a property. I have like 3 or 4 like that, where I'm buying it. I'm basically what's called listing them for double the price. Again, you know me. I try to keep my business as slim as possible, my expenses as low as possible, my conversion rates as high as possible, and my assignment fees as high as possible when I do assign. What I've been doing right now, which I notice that right now with money being so tight, my investor buyers are too smart. What does that mean? There's probably out there some other buyers that want to get into the business, and who are the best people to buy your properties when you're trying to assign them is new investors. Because a seasoned investor wants to make a certain amount of money. I want to make 25K. So he has to buy it at a cheaper price. A new investor might just want to get his feet wet and get his money back. You know what? If I get my money back, I'm good. So they can pay a little bit more. So again, that's another tip that I learned. Stay in there, guys. Be safe. Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a great holidays. Again, and on Mondays is New Year's. Hey, back to work. Again, I've been reading a book called Your Next 5 Moves by Pat David. And yeah, improve, be accountable, set your goals and your targets, and get on it. Stay in it, guys.